it's becoming very apparent. You were talking about the big reveal, but it's becoming very apparent that these people, the criminals, the globalists, are throwing everything they possibly can at us right now. And we're seeing the Klaus Schwab World Economic Forum Great Reset information, where they want to redefine agriculture, food, and infuse it with GMOs, chemicals, pesticides, vaccines, and lab-grown food. And it's just, it sounds like a nightmare to hear him describe this.
This is called Great Abomination, or the Great Adulteration. And this is what they were doing before that got them into trouble. Because this is a creation that works. And what they're trying to do is trying to pollute it for profit.
Exactly.
And they're going to get the same kind of existential collapse as a result, because you can't do that. And as for Mr. Schwab, he's talking about the fusion of your physical, biological, and DNA, and blah, 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 and one identity, which will be owned by him, of course. And his associates. And my thought on this is that people like that need to be clapped in irons and taken to a mental hospital.
Yeah.
They really do. Because if this is an example of their thinking, if what's coming out of their mouths is indicative of what they're thinking, their thought patterns are wrong.
Absolutely.
They're delusional and they're evil. Both.
Yes.
And at this point, they're just a threat to common decency and respect for the sacred nature of creation.
Absolutely.
They've lost it. They really do need to be segregated, put somewhere, and worked with to see if they can be saved or not, because these people are out of touch with reality. They're megalomaniacs, they're control junkies, and they're greedy.
Very greedy. Very greedy. And they have, they're naming these things like fresh, capital F, capital R, lowercase e, capital S, capital H. And this is an initiative for, food. But it's not fresh. It's all chemical and lab grown.
All the opposite. It's always that way. It's their modus operandi.
Yep.
They tell you it's black when it's white, and it's white when it's black, and it's green when it's gray. They can't tell the truth. The truth is not in them. And this is the condition of their minds. So they are legitimately crazy. If you can't tell the difference between what's truth and what's false, then you are too confused and too delusional to be even offering an opinion. And that's what you encounter with these people.
Yeah, absolutely. And then someone in New York sent the website Senatus Consultum. I don't know if you had a chance to look at that, but have a look at it, because it's pretty crazy. And I think they're in cahoots with Klaus Schwab.
You see the same kind of thing with T-Roll, where they make wild, accusations, and they make these wild claims, and they come up with all of this BS that's just, you're standing there and you're listening to it, and you're going, oh yeah, and you're the 144,000 we're all going to bow down to too, right?
No.
So it's It's all globalist geehaw. It's all stuff that has no basis in any kind of sane reality. And these people should be recognized, and they should be removed. They should be taken to some sort of, retraining or re-education system where they learn to be decent human beings and think in terms of truth instead of every kind of lie and every kind of distortion that they can come up with in order to profit themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these times with all these lockdowns and things like that, they're, I think they're just feeding off of each other and trying to, see if they can just whip up some more fear amongst the people and,
Well, yeah, everyone says, oh, we're locked down. Who's locking you down?
Mm-hmm.
You're locking yourself down.
Mm-hmm.
You're voluntarily sitting in your little house with your ridiculous little face diaper on, and you're not just walking around and pushing it back in their faces and saying, oh, well, where's your authority to tell me I can't do this? Oh, yeah, and who told you that you had any such authority? See, legislatures do not have authority over living people. Legislatures have authority over their own officers and employees and over things, corporations. But legislatures can't mandate anything over you, and neither can their state governors. Look at what happened when Jay Inslee was taken to task.
Mm-hmm.
What was his reply? Oh, you can't charge me with any wrongdoing because I didn't actually enforce any of my mandates or proclamations.
Exactly.
I just put them out there, and those people who were dumb enough to obey them are dumb enough to obey them. So don't be stupid. Don't obey. The BBC has a motto that is engraved and chiseled above their doorway in London, and it says, listen and obey. I'm not joking. This is their company motto. The BBC company logo is listen and obey. It was set up as a World War II propaganda machine, and that's still what it is today. And if we're so stupid that we take that seriously and think that we have to swallow it, hook, line, and sinker, well, what can you expect?
Exactly.
And these people, these are the ones that are feeding the AP wire and the Reuters wire, and this is what all these quote-unquote talking heads are picking up on and reading and taking as gospel.
Mm-hmm. Well, go ahead.
Well, as Mark Twain warned us, he witnessed when all this got started, right? Mm-hmm. He says, don't, or was it, I can't remember if it was Mark Twain or if it was someone else who said, was it Will Rogers who said, don't believe anything you see and don't believe anything you hear and only half of what you see?
Yeah,
that was Will Rogers.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, there is so much BS being put out on the airwaves in all directions that it's very difficult to know what is actually going on. And you have to rely on your own horse sense and what you're actually seeing and hearing. And you also have to check what you're responding to.
Yeah, absolutely. Check in with yourself.
Links to Anna's articles and resources can be found in the video description box. Thank you for subscribing, liking and sharing.